Hi, my name is Dan Weiss, and I'm the Product Manager of MOAC Labs Online. Today, I'd like to talk to you first about the technical requirements for MOAC Labs Online before we talk about what the product is and how to access it in the second session of this video. Before one can access MOAC Labs Online, they must make sure that they have the appropriate level of bandwidth in their classroom setting or their home. Microsoft, in conjunction with Wiley, recommends a bandwidth of 256 kilobytes per second per user. So if you're in a classroom and you have 10 users, you need to multiply 10 users times 256 kilobytes to get the total bandwidth size running into that classroom. Note, if your entire organization is using the same pipe, you need to make sure that you factor that in, because there might be an instance where somebody in a different location is using the same bandwidth and is downloading a large file and is hogging the bandwidth, thereby limiting what is coming into the classroom. One thing to make sure that we recommend is that if you're in a classroom setting, that you talk with your network administrator to make sure that you are understanding what sort of bandwidth you're having coming into your classroom. The second thing to note is latency. If you ping a server in the San Francisco Bay Area, you need to be getting a latency of less than 300 milliseconds per when you do the ping. So to be able to check your latency, you can use a site like speedtest.net. That's speedtest.net, and you'll be able to go there and you'll be able to run a speed test from your point of origin to San Francisco. Microsoft Learning recommends less than 300 milliseconds on that test to ensure an optimal connection. Anything over that will impede the experience that you have. Latency is especially important for folks who are testing MOAC labs from an international location. Another thing to note is that on the first time that you access MOAC labs online, you will have to enter an access code. The access code will either be provided from your Wiley sales representative for instructor review, or it will be used from the textbook when your students use the labs the first time. They will enter the access code only once into this box here, and they'll check that and read the end user license agreement, check the box and click enter. If they do not have a Windows Live ID, this box up in the right hand corner, they will need to create one. When they come back in the future, they will simply need to click on access to the site and enter the Windows Live ID to be able to see the lab again. To be able to use MOAC Labs Online, there are a few other requirements. The 32-bit version of MOAC Labs Online, the courses that are out today, require the use of VMRC. Not getting into the details, but you need to have a certain port open on your network. In our 64-bit labs, the newer labs that will be coming out soon, require RDP, another port that is open. Please consult with your network administrator to make sure that those ports are open. Two other things to note. Pop-up blockers need to be disabled so that when you're inside the lab will work correctly. Secondly, you need to not be sitting behind a proxy server. And if you are sitting behind a proxy server, this is more for our classroom locations. Please consult with your network administrator to find out your proxy server settings so that you can enter them into a pop-up box that might appear on the screen. That concludes our technical requirements for using MOAC Labs Online. Thank you.